Hey guys, this is SH here, and welcome back to my 5th episode of the Battlefield 4 Weapon Guide. In this episode, I'm going to be covering the AEK-971, which is one of my favorite assault rifles in Battlefield 4. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Okay, the AEK-971. Let's first talk about the damage, because it is very standard at 25 at close and 18 at distance. What that means for you is that it will take between 4 to 6 shots to kill. And normally, you take about 5 shots to kill in the medium range, but if you only engage enemies at a long range, yes, it will take 6 shots. And if you can get a headshot with it, you should be able to kill guys in 2 shots headshot in the close range and 3 shots headshot at a distance. So if you want to go for a headshot, you should go ahead. And also, right now, there's a glitch called the headshot glitch, which allows you to drop down anything in just one headshot. So a lot of times that happens and really frustrated me, but if you want to go for a headshot, you should go ahead and maybe you have a chance to kill enemies in just one headshot. Okay, the bullet drop is very standard and drop off starts at 8 meters and drop off ends at 55 meters, which is also very standard for entire assault rifles, with the exception of Scar H. If you want to check out Scar H video, the link should be in the description below, so be sure to check it out if you want to know about the Scar H, because that gun is different than any other guns in Battlefield 4 assault rifle class, so be sure to check that out. But anyway, let's get back to stats. Okay, muzzle velocity 580 meters per second, which is also very standard among the other assault rifles, and it is not the fastest or it is not the slowest firing assault rifle, but 580 meters per second is kind of slow enough. So I mean, you don't have to track down enemies in a range by that much, because 580 meters per second is not the slowest firing assault rifle. So you really don't have to worry about it that much. And if you use a suppressor, you should drop down to 300 meters per second. And I know that is not a half, so it doesn't have like significant reduction like Scar H, for example. It drops down to 240 meters per second, which is very slow. So if you want to press the suppressor, yeah, you should definitely try the suppressor out, especially in the close quarter maps like Operation Locker. It really should give you a lot of advantage, especially with this crazy rate of fire. Yeah, you should definitely try to use a suppressor with this gun. Alright, the bullet drop is also very standard at 15 meters per second. And so what that means for you is that if you want to use an AEK sight, or if you want to engage guys in a long range, be sure to, well, maybe you really shouldn't engage guys in a long range, but if you still want to do it, you can stop AEK sight, which I really do not recommend, but you still can do it anyway, so really are not going to have to worry about that. And the magazine size is 30 rounds with 1 in the chamber, which means you have 31 rounds total with 1 in the chamber, so it is very standard among the other assault rifles. The only gun that has different magazine size, it should be the Scar H, and other than that, every single gun has pretty much 31 rounds. So again, standard. The projectile is 5.45 by 45 milliliter per round, so it is also very standard. It's very similar to NATO round, just like the other assault rifles. So you're not gonna have to worry about that either. Okay, now let's talk about the reload time. The reload time for this gun is actually very slow, reloading at 2.3 seconds with 1 in the chamber and 3.6 seconds empty. And empty for 3.6 seconds, that's quite a lot of time. So yeah, this is a close quarter weapon, so what I recommend you is to not use this gun until the magazine runs out. Make sure you try to reload this gun when you have a round greater than 1, because the full reload time is way too slow for close quarters. So just be sure to watch it out. If you look at M16A4, for example, it has a reload time 1.8, and compared to 1.8 to 2.3, that's a lot of difference. So make sure you watch it out and make sure you are in a safe place whenever you're reloading, and you should be good to go. Alright, now the greatest part, which is the recoil. The recoil for this gun is mostly gonna kick up to the right. The kick to the left is very minimal at 0.15, and kick to the up is pretty high at 0.38, and kick to the right is also fairly high at 0.4. So what you have to do is to make sure you burst fire this weapon if you want to engage guys in a long range, and also if you want to use a 4 times size or 3.4 times size, which I really do not recommend. Yeah, you can use it, but you're not gonna have a good time with it. So if you want to use it with a heavy barrel, that should be a pretty good choice for a long range, but again, I really do not recommend it. And also, the stat that is different than any other gun in Battlefield 4 assault rifles is that it has a first shot multiplier of 3 times, and that is a lot. So basically, when you shoot once, it's gonna kick like a mule. So burst fire it's not the best choice to have, but you can use the angle grips to try to block the recoil, first recoil down by 1/3. And really, this is a close quarter reference. I don't think it's gonna matter that much. If you're engaging enemies in a medium or long range with this gun, something must be wrong with you. So just try to not to engage enemies at medium to long range and try to force that close quarter gunfights, because this gun has a very high rate of fire. And aim down sight is also very standard among the other assault rifles, so you're really not going to have to worry about that. And also, for the attachments, you can use any attachments in the game. So you can use suppressor, heavy barrel, flash hider, compensator, muzzle brake, target pointer, and so on. So my tips for you guys is to try to burst fire this weapon in medium to long range if you have to engage enemies that way, but I really do not recommend you because this gun has a pretty high first shot multiplier. But if you still want to go for it, just go ahead. And yeah, and the attachment I recommend is to use angle grip, because the only problem for you is to just spark down the first shot recoil to as low as you can. And in order to do that, and the angle grip can do that, brought the recoil down by 1/3, which is quite a lot. And you're gonna notice a significant amount of difference if you put an angle grip on it. So try that. And heavy barrel, I really do not recommend. And also, the thing I recommend is the suppressor. Suppressor is also a very good choice for this gun, because this gun has a high rate of fire, so it's going to be most effective in the close quarters only. So if you put on suppressor, and especially in like an Operation Locker, which is a map that you are going to be engaging enemies in a close range mostly, so try to use that, and I think you're gonna have a great time. Muzzle brake, of course, you can use anything you want. If you want to reduce some horizontal recoil, you can use a muzzle brake, or if you want to reduce the vertical recoil, you can use a compensator. So it's all up to you, and I think that's it, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this weapon guide, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.